What's your name and what do you do?
My name is Ian Church and I'm the Managing Director of Buckles.
Ian, it's been a tough year, but can you share with us what's been your personal highlights?
Personal highlight, I joined the business on the 18th of May, so we were already partway through the first lockdown. I think I would reflect and say it's the way that the Buckles team have responded to the changes that I've asked them to make, and that comes in many guises, whether it be basic things like housekeeping and presentation, but in particular I genuinely think we've upped our ante hugely in looking after our customers, so it's customer service.
Fantastic. And Ian, going back to the first lockdown, what did you really learn from that experience?
Well, as I said a second ago, Peter, I joined the business partway through the first lockdown. So there were a number of things obviously already in place. I think the thing that struck me initially is how resilient people are generally. But I was probably a little bit too concerned when I saw some of the behaviours. I think internally we probably relaxed too much and some of the social distancing became difficult. So I think it's reinforcing some of the really basic things that we need to do to look after ourselves and our customers, obviously, and our suppliers. So I would say it was more about personal behaviours and how easy it is for people to slip back into old ways. Like a lot of other people, I probably spent way more time than I normally would on my own, and I think I'm probably better around people. But I think it's a case of, yeah, it brings out the best and the worst in people, and I think it makes you sit back and reflect on how you lived your life before and probably took things for granted. So I'm more conscious, I think, now of what life used to be like, and I'll probably hold it in better value going forward.
What are you planning to do to support people around you and your business in the second lockdown?
Yeah, I think the key is it's around communication and it's around staying positive. And I think it's incumbent and really important for people like myself in my own business to make sure I stay in touch with people. And actually that's really quite a difficult balance if you're leading a business. You need to set the right example in terms of doing what we've been asked to do, in terms of working from home when you can. But I'm personally equally very conscious that, you know, if I'm expecting my people to be at the front end of the sharp end, then I think I should be around my people, socially distanced obviously, for some of that time. And I think it's also a case of constantly trying to reassure people that, you know, we will get through this. And there's a lot of people working behind the scenes and lots of things going on that probably, you know, none of us are aware of to ensure that, you know, this thing is over as soon as is possible.
You mentioned keeping positive. Can you share with us what you do personally to keep yourself positive?
Yeah, well, I think fortunately, I would regard myself as a positive person anyway. You know, it's planning to do the right things that we want to do anyway, but maybe the timescales for implementation will sort of have to be put back. But you know, for us, from a business perspective, I mean, we're a relatively small player in a big market, so there's a very strong argument to say we've got less to lose and so much more to gain. But it's just saying, you know, there is an end goal, that we're coming through the tunnel. We've seen light at the end of it, and then we've gone round a corner and the lights, you know, potentially disappeared. So yeah, it's all about positive attitude and positive behaviour.
As a closing message, what would you like to say to inspire others?
Yeah, it's about staying positive, as this will come to an end. And it's really reflect on what you once had, and you will have those things again. But take time and cherish the memories, but look forward to the good days returning, and they will. Um, and I think we should all probably take a step back and not necessarily take what we once took for granted.